You're listening to the Healing from CPTSD podcast. My name is Justin Vanderwind, and I am your host. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about gratitude and whether or not we need to be grateful for what we've had to go through in life. If you haven't done so already, be sure to visit our website at healingfromcptsd.com and sign up on our email list for regular updates, as well as a free weekly newsletter. While you're at it, check out our new YouTube channel and subscribe for regular video content. If you're interested in taking your life back from CPTSD and narcissistic abuse, the Healing from CPTSD course is now available on our YouTube channel completely free of charge. This course has some of the best tools and strategies for understanding and overcoming CPTSD in your life. Feel free to check it out. And if you feel so inclined to share your story at all or talk about your experiences dealing with CPTSD or narcissistic abuse with me on the podcast, I would love to have you on the show sometime. Just shoot me an email at justin@healingfromcptsd.com and we can set something up. All links will be in the description below. Okay, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Healing from CPTSD. My name is Justin Vanderwind, and I am your host. So, what's today? Hang on, I gotta look at my calendar. It's the 27th of November. So that means Thanksgiving. We just had Thanksgiving. If you're in the United States, that is. You know, I guess... being an American, I assume everyone does Thanksgiving all over the world. But anyway, in the United States, we had Thanksgiving. Obviously, for a lot of us, the holidays are hard. You know, many of us have had to just leave our families altogether. We don't have any contact with them. That's hard. And some of us have to, you know, kind of still deal with some of these people. That's also hard. You know, and the holidays, you know, family can be tricky, whether there's narcissists going on or not, you know. So, it's always hard. And so I was thinking my Thanksgiving was fine, you know, as long as I have food and pie and maybe a little alcohol to watch the game with, that's fine with me. You know, I hope you guys had a good one if you do that thing. But I was thinking, you know, about this whole gratitude thing, you know, because Thanksgiving's supposed to be what you're thankful for. And, you know, a lot of people talk about gratitude these days, and I always had a problem with gratitude. In fact, I actually, you know, one of these, remember those personal development workshops I talk about? One of those workshops I went to was actually called Gratitude. Like the entire, you know, program was called Gratitude. And, you know, if you're familiar with a lot of these personal development books and workshops and stuff, like, it seems to me like all these programs kind of stem from, Napoleon Hill's work, Think and Grow Rich, and, you know, Outwitting the Devil. It seems, you know, I've read those books. I don't know if I highly recommend them if you haven't, but, you know, a lot of these programs talk about, you know, the need for gratitude. And I'm telling you right now, like, I always had trouble with gratitude. I mean, I still do to a certain degree. It's hard to be grateful when your life is just like complete and total shit. And you've just gone through like the ringer over and over and over, and you've just like your entire life has just been you being shitted on and treated like shit and abused and all kinds of crap, and having your family like torn away from you from the smear campaigns and all that type of stuff. You know, I don't know if I could be grateful for anything. I mean, I was angry, man. You know, and I don't think there was anything wrong with that anger. You know, I think it matters like what you do with it. You know, but I think you're angry for a reason. So I just didn't like the idea like we should, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying don't be grateful, but it was really hard for me to actually be grateful about anything. And I'm sure, because to me, my life was like, I was born and it was just like pure hell. And I just can't, you know, I didn't even really want to be alive. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, what is this? Like, I guess for some people, this is a fun experience, you know, this human life thing. For me, it isn't. Like, there's nothing here that, you know, I don't like this world. My life is so painful and complex and frustrating that how am I supposed to be grateful for anything? Like, what am I supposed to be grateful for? And I even hear some of the, you know, the different coaches dealing with narcissistic abuse and stuff like that, talking about the importance of gratitude and stuff like that. Apparently, you know, the idea is like when you open your heart, like gratitude kind of like equals joy, right? And appreciation. And when you're in that space, you feel that joy. And then, you know, according to a lot of these books and workshops, you can like attract more stuff into your life, right? Like whether you're talking about the law of attraction or even Think and Grow Rich, they talk about, you can kind of like create your life with your thoughts, but it's generating, like, I guess, being in a state of joy, like, raising your vibrations up to out of anger and fear and all that stuff into a space of joy kind of gives you, I guess, the energy to create things quickly. So I think that's the main reason they stress you trying to be in gratitude all the time and be grateful for the things that you already have. But again, that's really hard for people that have been through a lot of pain in their lives and don't really have any. What am I thankful for? Like, am I supposed to force it? Because I'm really not thankful. It just kind of made me angry, right? Like just the idea of trying to be thankful for something. And I've practiced it. I've worked with it. The idea of gratitude and being thankful for things, but I still have trouble with it. But so what I did, so for me, I don't think gratitude is, if we're talking about gratitude being that state of joy and being that allows you to create your life and to feel good on the inside, right? I don't think you need to practice gratitude in order to access that joy. I don't know if that sounds crazy, but I've had that. I just, you don't have to do it. It's just gratitude kind of like is at that same frequency as joy, but you don't have to get to joy through gratitude, if that makes sense. But what's interesting is if you're in that space of pure joy and inner happiness, gratitude kind of comes along with it anyway. So I think there's different ways to go about it. I'm more interested in the healing aspects, as you know, and grieving and verbal ventilation, whether you're talking to someone or writing down your authentic feelings on a particular issue and really letting it rip. That is angering is to me more important than practicing gratitude, because that'll get rid of it'll allow you to channel that anger and pain in a healthy way, and then you'll feel better. When all that stuff is out of you, the anger, the fear, and all that stuff, you'll naturally feel better. And as I can tell you, as those things have, as I've done those things and worked on my healing and angering and being honest with my feelings on various issues, it got me back in touch with my heart. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, the heart center. That's kind of been my experience as I've trotted my path here, is that there's like something going on with the heart, right? It can like open up, I guess, like E.T. from that movie E.T. My heart doesn't glow or anything, but it definitely feels a lot better than it once did. It used to feel shut down and really just kind of clogged and jammed up with horrible pain and energy. But once I was able to get that energy out of there, my heart was able to open up more. And as it did, I found I was able to, it's easier for me to be grateful for things I'm actually grateful for. So I started there, right? I started for being grateful for, just knowing about CPTSD. The Pete Walker in his book, for example, was like, yeah, I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful to find out what's actually been going on in my family dynamic all this time. I'm thankful that I wasn't crazy, that I was right, and that I knew that, I had to get to the bottom of this, and people on the outside didn't see what was going on behind closed doors. And that made me feel good. Like I felt so validated, and I felt grateful for that. I'm grateful for, the ability to heal. I'm thankful for the things I learned, but I'm thankful for the healing work I've done. But I'm not really thankful for what I went through to get it. I still haven't gotten there yet. Like if God was like, hey, do you want to do that again in another life? I'd be like, no, please. Like I don't know. It's weird because I'm on the one hand, I'm kind of grateful for where I am now internally and being able to communicate a little clearer and feel better on the inside and to know how to heal, and to get my emotional needs met in a real way, whether there's someone else around or not. That makes me feel good. But Jesus, I don't know if I'd ever want to go through anything like that ever again. I don't even know what to say. Like I don't know. So gratitude's still a weird one for me. I guess I'm grateful for the things. There's things I can be grateful for. So I think, if you struggle with gratitude too, I think that's probably a good place to start. Is just thinking about things that you can be grateful for, because it does help, but I understand if It's like every time I sat down for Thanksgiving, it was like, what are you thankful for? And the truth was, I wasn't thankful for anything. you know, maybe as I was growing up, there was some superficial stuff I was thankful for, like a new video game, or, when I was growing up, they had Pokemon cards and stuff like that. Maybe I got some of those. Gifts. I was thankful for gifts. You know what I mean? Real gifts that I actually liked. But it was hard to be thankful for anything about what was actually happening in my life. So I think I'd like to validate, your experiences. If you ever have that, if you struggle with gratitude or being grateful, I don't think you need to worry about it too much. I think, I'm a big fan of authenticity and genuine feeling what you're genuinely feeling. Because if you don't do that and you just bury it down with sort of like, those people that they just try to force being positive or whatever, but you can tell something's off. You know what I mean? Like, we need gratitude or joy, but it needs to be real. Like, you don't want to just suppressing stuff isn't healthy. You've got to get rid of it. It's like putting a newspaper over, like, again, if your dog goes to the bathroom on the floor somewhere, you just put a newspaper over. That's not getting rid of it. You got to get rid of it. You got to clean it, get rid of it, and then sanitize the area. Well, we need to do the same thing with the emotional self, and we can. So many of us are walking around with like just emotional newspaper over our emotional inner poop, and it stinks, and everyone knows it. But the thing is like very few people like know how to deal with it. It's crazy. Even the therapist, it's really weird. It's like this should be it. Because once I found out how to do it, I was like, this isn't that. It's really not that hard. Like, you really don't need to sit in a therapist's office for 20 years trying to figure out what's going on. You just need to heal your inner issues, whatever they are. And you can find out what they are with, I'm telling you, the pad and the pen. There's nothing better than that. There's really nothing better than that. Talking, again, it can be helpful, but the writing is really where it allows you to change, process that emotional energy and actually, change the grooves in your brain surrounding a particular issue. And so when you do that, you'll naturally feel better, right? It's kind of like if you've got a dirty window and there's dirt and mud on it, and then you clean it, you'll naturally be able to see through it again. Like, the light will come through when you clean off the gunk, right? So that's kind of my approach. I don't like to force positivity or trying to force gratitude or whatever. Like, just be real with yourself. We've had to spend so much time like pretending and playing all these emotional games. A lot of us didn't even really know what we were feeling. You know what I'm talking about? I spent so much time, like, I didn't even know what I was feeling. Like, my emotion, I was just totally frozen emotionally. I didn't know what my feelings were. And, so getting in tune with what I was really feeling was extremely helpful for opening up my heart. But I didn't have to practice gratitude to do it. But I think you'll naturally, again, like the more you heal, the more joy you feel, the more like gratitude will kind of just sort of come naturally. You'll feel grateful for just, your heart opening up and feeling better and knowing how to feel better, like knowing how to take care of those inner issues and to heal them and to get your life back. You'll start to naturally feel grateful. But are we supposed to feel grateful for things that like caused us so much pain? I don't know. That's up to you, I guess. I guess if you want to, like, some people actually say that, like, they're grateful for the challenges in their life because it helps them become who they are or something like that. I hear what they're saying, but I don't know. I'd rather I'm like the kind of person that was like I'd rather just not even been born. Like, I don't know who created me or why I was created, but I would rather just not have come here at all. Like, why can't I just be in the void? Like, just you know what I'm saying? Like, why did I have to go? Like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. So that's my feelings on it. So gratitude. If you're not grateful for anything, don't worry about it. I'm grateful for being able to find other people that know what CPTSD is, because it's, oh my God, it's so nice, right? It's like you're with your people who finally understand like what you're dealing with, what you've gone through, what you've had to struggle with on a regular basis. And that, it wasn't a chemical imbalance. It was extreme emotional trauma, and conditioning from the trauma, right? And so we get it. Like there's so many people that we've tried so hard for so long to convince all these people and to talk to all these people about, like trying to get people to believe us or to hear our story, and very few people would. But the ones who know about this stuff, they get it. You don't have to do much convincing. They understand right off the bat. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for, I'm relatively healthy. I'm trying to lose some weight though. I'm working on it. I've lost like 25 pounds the last couple months. I'm not like a blob or anything, but I'm like a big bear guy. Like I'm just kind of like one of those, got like a football player kind of a, like you see those football players and they're just big. They're just big. Some of them are like, it's like they work out, but some of them are still kind of like chunky. I don't know what that is. I'm not a football player, but it's like I got that Viking thing going on. So I'm grateful for my general health. And I'm really, I think, grateful more than anything that I took the journey to heal. And, because I felt so much better. Oh my God, man. I just can't, like, the relief, just absolute relief, I would say. And I think there's a lot of people that are just walking around day to day and they're just in pain. And I think a lot of people don't even necessarily realize it, right? But I think if you're numb, right? I think you become numb. I think you're in pain and you become numb to it. And that's the saddest part, is like, because if that numbness like kind of vanished, you'd probably be experiencing some pain inside, and you probably just get used to it, right? I'm sure that's what I was dealing with. Like it just froze over, like, an emotional winter. But you can overcome it. You can heal. So I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful that I fought for the truth, because my father's side of the family, they're it's like, I hear from them here and there, and it's like the same old crap, right? Like it's the same dysfunctional garbage. Like, but nobody grew, right? Like there's their mother, my dad's mom is a narcissist, but like all their kids, like nobody, it's they got that dysfunctional cultish thing going on where like they don't have any other outside friends and they're just putting up with the horrible behavior and pretending like it. But the problem is like they never grew themselves, right? So now they're in their 50s and 60s and it's like they're sitting around like they don't know how to speak from their heart. They don't know how to, they just never grew. And for some reason, I just decided I didn't want to be like that. Like, I wanted to do whatever it took to heal and get my life back and to feel better. And I'm thankful that I did that. It wasn't easy because, when you go against the cult, you're on your own. But you're on your own in a very fundamental way. And you have to take all the heat, right? You take the heat from the narcissist, but you have to take the heat from the flying monkeys too. And then they try to drag you back in. So if you go up against those people, it's hard. It's hard to go against your family, let alone a cult. But I'm glad that I did. Like, God, it was. I think for me, the anger is what got me through a lot of it. It was just that was my secret. It was just pure rage burning inside me. Like just the anger from all the insanity and the pain and the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just furious. I felt like I lost my life. I still, like, I'm happy to learn about healing from CPTSD and all that stuff, but, like, there's still parts of me that wish I see other people that are my age, and I'm like, man, I just feel like I missed so much stuff because of this crap. You know what I mean? Like, it's like dealing with it and then learning about it, and I don't know. Maybe we can have a better second act, huh? But, I'm grateful I went through that because I feel better. And you can tell a lot of these people, they're just, they don't want to do the work, right? Like the enablers, the people who just want to pretend like everything's fine. They don't do any work on themselves, but they're not happy either, like in a genuine way, right? You can just tell. I mean, they're just miserable, unhappy. And that's the saddest part about it. I'm thankful that I found out how to tap into happiness, because now it doesn't really matter. Like for so long I felt like you needed people's approval outside of you or something, especially like your parents or something, to feel happy. But I can tap into my inner happiness and joy regardless of what's going on around me. I mean, honestly, I could be arrested and thrown in jail. I'm not saying I'd be having a fun time, but it wouldn't be quite as devastating because I know how to calm myself. I know how to work on myself. I know how to tap into my inner joy to make everything feel like everything's okay inside. So it makes it a lot easier to deal with whatever's going on around you. And I'm thankful I was able to get that, and you can get it too. That's why I put that course together. It's, it takes some time, but the more work you do, just little by little, you'll sort of like heal and start opening up your heart. And when you experience that, especially if you practice throwing a little meditation, you'll feel better. You'll get it. You'll tap into that inner joy. The inner joy is what it's all about. And so you can get it, and then you'll be grateful for it, but you don't have to be grateful before you tap into it. Does that make sense? I think that's one way to do it, to just kind of like, what they say, fake it till you make it. But I don't think you need to fake it till you make it. I think you can just forget about the faking it and just be real and heal, and then you'll feel better. So many people's thought processes in the world is so weird. Like it's so backwards, right? Like I hear people talking, I'm like, what? I remember there was this one guy, he was like, yeah, when it comes to creating a business, you just got to think about what other people don't want to do. But I was like, why don't we just think about what I want to do? You know what I mean? It's like, it's so weird. I see this all the time. I'm sure you've seen that. Like, I don't know, people's thinking patterns are like sometimes backwards and upside down and flipped around. It's weird. But the simplicity is much easier, right? So why not make things simple and keep it simple, right? So I'm thankful. I'm also thankful. You know what I'm thankful for? The internet. I'm thankful that we can do this, like have a podcast and like YouTube and stuff like that, and to reach people. The internet, I think, is a godsend for everyone, but especially CPTSD people. You know what I'm saying? Because you can tap into podcasts or videos or blogs or any websites, and you don't have to. You can get help without even really having to leave your house. So that's I like that. And, it allows us to connect in a way that works for us, right? Because we're connecting, but we don't have to go to some like building somewhere to do so, right? So I love the internet. It nails my style. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's, and I'm thankful I don't have any kids. I don't know why. I think it's funny. I'm sorry if you have kids, if you don't like kids, because it's like I just did, like, it's like the path I took in life. It just allowed me to, it's like all I got to do is heal and then figure myself out. And it's not as hard as like trying to deal with kids and all these other people and husbands or wives or, all the mayhem that can come with it. I wanted to heal first and then do a family, not try to be dysfunctional and have a family and then never try to heal, and then you just pass on the dysfunction. So I'm grateful for you guys too. Like I'm grateful to connect with people, and I'm grateful that we're not alone. We're really not alone, but we can experience it in a real way. So yeah, it'll come, but I think gratitude again should be organic and natural. So if you're not grateful for anything, don't worry about it. Be okay with however you're feeling. Even if you feel bad, be okay with it. Like, just allow it to be there. Just be real, right? Just watch it. Be open. Because suppression doesn't help either. So those are my thoughts on gratitude. I hope I hope you're doing well, and I hope I don't know what happened to you on Thanksgiving, but I hope there was some way to have a nice Thanksgiving, right? Now we've got Christmas coming up, so we're getting slammed. Those of us that are trying to lose weight, oh my God, man. First you got Halloween, it's like, all right, I'm going to have some candy today. And then there's Thanksgiving, and then there's Christmas. So, yeah, it's tough. And then there's New Year's. I guess you're supposed to eat a bunch of crap on New Year's, too. I don't know. Well, yeah, I just wanted to hop on and talk about gratitude for a little bit. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.